Oh my God.
No,
Oh my God.
fine. Just say what you got to say.
Listen. If you're in front of me, I would slap you big time.
You get one back as well, though.
Oh yeah, I would welcome that.
What's up, guys, and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video by giving full credits to Ron Harris for having these two guys, Milos and Giles on board. And that was supposed to be for a civil bodybuilding discussion. Now, don't get me wrong, it was a deep analysis of Derek's win over Nick Walker at the Pittsburgh Pro. But all of a sudden, it just turned upside down. I highly recommend all of you guys to go and watch this entire video, that entire episode, as it got very heated and multiple times. But at the same time, I must say, it was extremely funny as well.
Back me up.
Bring it on, seriously.
Bring it on. You see no benefits of him entering the Pittsburgh. You stupid man.
Obviously, there was a benefit to him doing it, but he couldn't do it.
No. You started argument with him not being injured.
No, I don't think he'd have been. I will say it again. I don't think he'd have been higher than 5th. That's my own personal opinion.
So this is like 1 hour of circling around just one single point. And I believe this discussion could have been over in probably less than 5 minutes if Giles just admitted that his stance over Good Vito doing the Pittsburgh Pro, that was simply wrong. And even if Good Vito placed outside of the top 6 at the Pittsburgh Pro, which by the way, in my opinion, that was impossible. There was no way he was gonna place outside of that top 6. But let's just say that was the case. It still would have been a learning curve, a learning experience for him, standing next to all of these top guys. And before people start bashing Giles, in the comment section, he did admit that there are many advantages of stepping on the stage.
Hey, I could care less what they think of you. I want them to like you. I want them to like you because I do think that you care. But you say stupid shit like this.
But Milos was somehow very angry on why Giles chose to ignore him while asking all these questions on Instagram, where, by the way, this disagreement actually started. Now, Giles has this opinion in regards to Good Vito, that right now he isn't a top Olympia guy. He isn't a contender for the top 10. And I respect that. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And the fact is, most of us kind of agree, because Good Vito, he still needs more thickness, especially in the side and in the upper back, which he totally can achieve in due time. So let's give that to Giles. But him saying that there is no advantage of Good Vito stepping on the stage in Pittsburgh with some of these top guys, because he doesn't stand a chance against the mutant Nick Walker, Martin, Derek Lunsford, William Bonac, Crizzo, and not doing a show because of that. That doesn't make sense.
Trying to look on the bright side, I was thinking, okay, there's no look. He's qualified, and at the end of the day, it's just what's the? I mean, it's not. There's going to be other competitions.
Derek was qualified.
It's not a disaster. It's not a disaster.
Martin was qualified. Okay.
Yeah.
Bonac was qualified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, prize money, great. Stage experience, great. Yes, it would have been great, but I was trying to be like,
you're never gonna make a shot you don't make.
You know, Milos himself, he entered so many shows throughout his career where he knew he had zero chances of winning that show, or in some shows where the chances of even placing top 5, they were almost zero for him. But he did do that for the love of the sport. So his very angry and very outrageous reaction here, that says it all. Because you can disagree with Milos in regards to his opinions about a certain show or about a certain athlete, but you cannot deny that he loves the sport. And that is why he was so angry, because he wants all the new talent, like Good Vito, to compete more often. Now, just for the reference for your understanding, I'm posting every comment of Milos and Giles here, so you guys can decide for yourself who is on the right side here. So this episode, that went over 2 hours, and it ended with private messages being discussed on camera regarding Samson Dauda winning Romania Pro back in 2023 when he was working with Milos. Now, in the end, I would like to again thank Ron Harris for putting out this totally uncensored and completely unfiltered episode.
That's it. But I don't think he's there yet. I don't think he's there yet to hang with these top guys.
You first criticize him that he's not at the high level. That
he is at a high level, Milos, but there's levels to this. There's first call-out guys, Olympia. There's second call-out guys.
If you're gonna, the reason I'm screaming is just to be louder than you. And
Okay.
So the announcement about the increase in the prize money for the Arnold Ohio next year, and also for the Arnold UK, which was made by Arnold Schwarzenegger himself. And it's a very simple fact that if someone wins both these shows, they're gonna get $1 million in the prize money. And that has made so many people already interested for the Arnold Ohio next year. Now 2 of the top 10 Olympians, they are very interested about jumping into the Arnold Ohio next year. First of all, we have Tonio Burton, and secondly, we have Martin Fitzwater. And if this becomes true, it will be the Arnold Ohio debut for both these guys. Now, for those of you guys who do not know, Martin wanted to do this show last year too, but his application wasn't accepted, which we all know turned out to be a major mistake by the Arnold team, because Martin went on to place top 4 at the Olympia in that same year. So Martin has now established himself, so his application, that certainly won't be rejected this time. So I am very sure that Martin is gonna be there next year. Now let's talk about Tonio Burton and his most recent physique update, 1.5 weeks out of his first show of this season. And I must say, such an excellent choice of show made by Tonio Burton, especially for his first show of the year. And I must say, the way he's looking right now, he's probably gonna be the favorite, going for the Legion Sports in about 10 days time. So he has been posting a lot of physique updates. But we really wanna see how much more size has Tonio been able to pack on in this past 1 year. And we can only see that when we see him standing next to all these other guys. And we have to keep in mind, he's coming back to the stage after almost 1 year. And even though he was qualified for the Olympia last year, but still, he chose to skip and go for a big off-season. And this was a very productive off-season by good Vito. And one thing that nobody has to worry about in regards to Tonio Burton is his ability to get truly shredded and absolutely ripped. So he did a total of 3 shows last year. He almost beat Rafael Brandao at the Arnold Brazil. He was 3rd at the New York Pro. And you can make an argument that he had better shape than even Martin Fitzwater. He just did not have enough size, enough mass to hang with those guys just yet. But overall, he looked awesome, very complete from the back. And then he did California Pro, the show he won to qualify for the Olympia last year. So all Tonio Burton needs to do is slowly close that gap in terms of the size. He has an amazing back, crazy quad sweep, a very small waistline, very round and very 3D delts. And those qualities, they make up for those perfect proportions. So if Regan wins California Pro, he's probably gonna shut the season down. And doing the Legion Sports, that is definitely not on his plan right now, even if he doesn't win Cali Pro. But even if he does, you have got to remember that the last time Tonio Burton competed against Regan, back in 2023, he actually beat him that year, and that was at the Olympia. Now Regan has made some great improvements, but the fact is we are expecting the same from Tonio Burton as well, after a gap of 1 year. Next up we have the off-season physique update from Ramon Dino. I'm gonna say too lean for the off-season. And yes, I know I have said this so many times now, but the fact is that is true. And I believe that is how Ramon is gonna stay all the way till the Olympia, because he wants to stay in that striking range to make that weight cutoff for the Olympia in October. Now Ramon will literally stop training for weeks post-Olympia every year, so that he doesn't eat a lot of food, because that would make him grow, and it would become very tough for him to come down in weight. So last year was very disappointing for Ramon Dino. After placing 2nd for 2 years in a row, and after winning the Arnold back in 2023, establishing himself as the biggest Olympia title contender after Chris Bumstead retired. Well, he came in way far off at the Olympia last year, and he dropped down to 4th place. But this year, his motivation seems to be on a whole different level. He trained with the former Miss Olympia Darryl Lunsford, and he watched him win 2 of the biggest shows of the year. And we all saw that he looked extremely impressive in the Pittsburgh Pro guest posing, which happened a couple of weeks back. His V-taper was looking a lot better, and most importantly, his posing and presentation, that looked very improved, which is the key thing here, because that is something that the judges have been telling Ramon for, I'm gonna say forever, to fix his posing. So Ramon just had 1 year off, and people are already counting him out. But the fact is, all these guys in that Olympia top 5, they are just so close that anything can happen on the day of the show. So after skipping this year's Arnold, Ramon Dino might bounce back very strong for the Olympia this year. So if there is anyone out there who stays very calm and very composed as an IFBB pro all throughout the year, it's Andrew Jacked. So if Linda Murray, the former Miss Olympia champion, she made Andrew Jacked to give her such a fire response, then I must say she must have pissed him off pretty badly. And Andrew does think that she crossed the line here by singling out Andrew Jacked in her video about the Arnold prize money, basically saying that the third place finisher, which was Andrew Jacked, he got more money than all the 18 women combined. And first of all, to start with, she quoted the wrong figure for that third place finish. And then even that 18:1 ratio in terms of the followers, that is also going against her argument. But that isn't the point here. These numbers on Instagram, they do not mean that much, especially in the real world. When it comes to putting people in those seats and selling the tickets, it is simple maths. You bring more money, you bring more sponsors, and you get to tap into a bigger prize pool. And that is how it gets better for you. So one thing we learned from this incident is that you never piss off a nice guy like Andrew Jacked. Because if you get on his nerves, which is something that is really hard to do, he's gonna respond. And the man has got all the right to do that. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.